I'm coming to find that I'm in love with DC's Black Label. It's one thing I really love in my fantasy. It's adult fantasy. And I always have a soft spot for the Court of Owls. You know, there's such drama when they show up, and I love that. And this book, I've already read it, and it's legit one of my favorites. And this is great, too. This kid's on his way to Gotham, and he's like, "Are you sure you want to do that, brother?" And he's like, yeah, I can take care of myself. Like, I've never seen a bat before. And he's like, well, you'll see plenty of them in Gotham. It's hilarious. And this art is amazing. I love this dramatic coloring, the shadows. Some people don't like when they do the panels like this, you know, when it shows like one by one, but I love that. I feel like it's just, I keep using the word dramatic because I don't know how else to do it, to say it. We have Alfred here who's talking to Bruce as if he was writing a letter to him, except he says he's going to burn these pages because he's never actually going to have him read this, which is crazy because the fact that Alfred says he feels guilty about sleeping while Bruce is out there fighting in the night. And that's kind of crazy that this older man feels so guilty of the fact where he couldn't even sleep. And then he felt even worse because it was trauma. And then he burns these notes because he can't even tell Bruce this. And he says, in the morning when you return, I resume my work as an emotional detective. While you sleep, I'll pore over your night log, your record of your bones you broke, exactly how and what order, and I'll watch the feed from your cowl. I'll inspect your suit, check your belt, tally your batarangs. I'll look for cracks in your psyche. I'll look for the answer to the questions I can't ask you. Is tonight the night you fell into the abyss? Poor Alfred, he never knows what's going to happen from like day to day, and he cares so much about Bruce, and he has to watch him go out every night and put himself into danger. You never know if he's going to come back. You never know if he's going to slip and finally kill someone. It reminds me of, you know, people who are married to cops or whatever. They have the same effect. They're terrified when their spouse leaves. They never know if they're going to come back. And Two-Face is added again, kidnapping one half of celebrity twins. So it turns out Harvey actually let Two-Face out so he could just bait Batman there to ask for his help. And this guy's going on about the climate and the river beneath Gotham. And he even calls River Princess, which nobody else does. And this is kind of weird how like the background is blurry. I love this effect. Shows how like kind of disconnected this guy is. And this too, they're going floor by floor. That's cool. Actually going down beneath the basement. He kills this guy just by touching him. He got annoyed that this guy was speaking up about the ecological disaster, and then he brings him to the elevator, and he's like, "We're capable of doing this as we see it. We've been here for hundreds of years, and you're like the squeaking of a mouse." And owls eat mice. That's another reason I love the Court of Owls, because they play on this reference that owls are the natural predators of bats, which is really cool. Brother Titanidae? Lord Strigaday. I feel like, do they give themselves these names? Are they pick each other's or what? So they're a bit concerned because underneath that river they were talking about has apparently breached the dam, and the chamber's walls were breached. And there's some door they're worried about remaining secure. And they're worried about a creature escaping. They turn on each other. It's like, I killed the rest of them because I didn't want them to close the door. He's like a crazy, obsessed fan. He's like, no, this is the will of Athena, which is, in case y'all don't know, her patron. The owl is her patron. And he's like, oh, this is what she wills. And he's like, well, we need Gotham to feed off of it. We can't feed off anything if Gotham is dead, so the creature's going to destroy everything. And that's a basic logic that a lot of villains don't understand. If you destroy the world, there's nobody left for you to rule over. And then, of course, you know, wherever there are court owls, there's a talon right behind you. God, this art is so good. It's so amazing. I love this darkness. Again, they're struggling over what to do about this creature getting out. No one knows. How did Harvey know about this? Is he part of the Court of Owls or what? And again, this kid, I don't know who this kid is, but he's in the street. And this girl, want to be my Robin, maybe? That's the worst pickup line I've ever heard. It's crazy. Walking through Gotham, you have this kid, and people are just, You got prostitutes, you got somebody trying to sell them drugs, you have someone selling venom, you have somebody else just creeping on them. He's after a cop. Oh no. Okay, well, I do like that they keep the canon here. Bruce is talking about Arkham Asylum and how years ago he was forced to spend a night in it because he was trapped in there that one time. And I think it was it Night of the Owls? I don't remember. That's cool though. They kept the canon. Walking through this corridor, standing now, feels like walking inside someone's head, where there exists only the thinnest membrane between sanity. And you have the Mad Hatter. You know, this is the real world, Alice. The one out there is just make-believe. Which is crazy because sometimes that's how Bruce actually feels. He gets so deep into it that I never forget that time so much to where he actually had like a little mental break. It was telling everybody that his real identity was Batman and that Bruce was just his alter ego. And these panels are kind of creepy here, how they just like don't draw their faces. Barbara drops by randomly to check on Bruce. He's already out and about. Then she checks on Alfred, but he said he's fine. Everybody's fine. Typical guys. He makes the point. I wish we could just talk about it, but there wouldn't be a Batman if we just talked about it, would there? This art is amazing, though. This image here with her reflection of Batgirl and this whole page here is insanely aesthetically pleasing. So she's walking with him to go see Harvey, and apparently you're talking about how like his personality is getting worse, and the union between the two halves is breaking, and they think there's a third person in there now. I feel kind of bad for him because he's like, when I asked you for help, this isn't what I meant. Sticking him in Arkham Asylum. I like this effect too when it switches from him to Harvey, and it's just like an overlay of colors. That's crazy. And he's like, I don't know what it is, but there's this voice inside telling me things. It's saying something truly's evil come to Gotham. Like this shadow on the building over here. These colors. And of course, you can't go through Gotham without running into a couple of masked freaks. Again, something with this kid. Yeah, because this is Gotham and it's fun here. The criminals would think that. Now he's got a gun and he wants to kill the guy who killed his dad. I'm vengeance. And he's never seen Batman before, so I'm guessing this is supposed to be a parallel, sort of. And they're freaking out, like, I ain't messing with him, I'm out of here. He actually threatens to kill the kid, but, did he just kill this guy? Okay, I'd be more concerned about this. What is going on here? You have these, like, Cthulhu tentacles? Which, I don't know if y'all know much about Cthulhu, but it's very much centered around, even though, like, the board game and stuff, it's centered around the idea of insanity and madness. You have to investigate, like, kind of like he does as a detective. And you slowly, as you unravel more and more knowledge into things that you don't understand, you run into like supernatural thing. If you get too much insanity, you lose. And eventually, sometimes these things blow up into real big problems, like interdimensional beings, like ancient gods. So I really enjoy this reference, like this Cthulhu reference. And apparently this creature has been locked inside this door for over 100 years. Again, with these fantastic blurry panels. I love it. It almost looks like somebody spilled water on it. This is the first time I'm getting different houses within the Court of Owls system. Like they say, we're having trouble with House Titanidae, and this is apparently House Strigidae. So this is the first time I'm seeing separate houses within the system. So apparently, they're like, oh, we'll go to Batman for help because it takes a bat to hunt a bat. So that must be the creature that got out from 100 years ago, which I'm so confused about. And they want to hurry up and fix their Talon. And poor Alfred here. A lot of people don't think about, how Alfred is thinking every night, But, and that's what he's saying right now. I used to feel guilty before you came home, but now I'm too exhausted to do anything but speak with ghosts as I succumb to sleep. And then he's talking to, Martha and his dad, and he's like, oh, I should have protected him. I feel bad. But God forgive me. I wanted vengeance too. Because who would not? It's totally understandable in that situation. Anybody would be mad. It's just everybody handles it differently. We have Harvey talking to his other self, which is apparently both of him. I guess rather than separating, it would make more sense to actually combine the two, right? And then finally he says, tell him that Batman below has the boy, and he means to make a Robin out of him. I don't want to say they're making Bruce look bad here, but the fact is that that this kid just happened to be the exact parallel to Bruce and, you know, Dick and everybody else he picked up. The fact that their parents died unjustified, and now the kid is angry and upset, and he's misdirecting his rage. He almost killed somebody earlier, shot them, until Batman intervened, and now he's taken this kid to make him a Robin, which kind of implies that he's a villain because he's going to be taking advantage of this kid's anger and turn him into a Robin, which has been a classic argument for a long time. You know, all the Robins themselves have brought it up at one point or another about how you just used us for your war. And really, in fact, it's the opposite. And I think Dick explained it the best when he's like, no, he brought in a kid who was in need of help and pointed my anger in the right direction. And it's kind of interesting that they're going with this route. The art is so beautiful. Wasn't a lot of pages, though. Is the second one done already? I want to read it ASAP. That was it for City of Madness, the book one. I mean, I understand why it took so long. I understand why there wasn't very many pages, because the art is amazing. It must have taken it so long to draw this and come up with these colors and these amazing panels. Like, I really can't get enough of this. It's one of my favorite ones. I love the exploration of insanity and trying to avoid the abyss, not knowing which side is best for who, and then, you know, the anger at injustice. So that's it. I just wanted to give this a quick read through and share my thoughts about it.